But that's what I'm saying. I would say
Let me tell you something about owl bears, young man. Owl bears are not just bear, but owl. They've taken the best elements of both bear and owl and created the most fearsome and dangerous of all Dungeons and Dragon creatures. Alright, so last time, and this is going to be a dramatic shift in tone.
Ooh,
I'm ready.
Last time we had a very interesting game of Dungeons and Dragons in which our intrepid adventurers decided to go deeper into the mines, and although they had not yet solved the puzzle that was presented to them, they had discovered the root cause of it but not yet solved the puzzle. They delved deeper into the mines in search of treasure. Treasure beyond your wildest dreams. Miguel spun stories of how different rich minerals and metals may be found deeper in the mines, and Bien, listening to his brother quite often, fell for the the allure of treasure. And Red was like, yeah, right. Bonora, of course, went along, but by the end of this encounter, they had murdered a bugbear. They had traipsed deeper, found some mysterious tentacle creature who tried to hang them from the ceilings, killed it, but in doing so had lit a dynamite stick and detonated it, and the caves, unstable already, had crumbled. Escaping through the same tunnel they came in, they ran into the rest of the bugbears, far more than they could have dealt with without some treachery or diplomacy, and they used a little bit of both, but in the end, it was clear that as they had told them they had come as slave traders, they weren't leaving without giving up one of their slaves. Bonora was that slave. Is that slave now. And as the rocks crumble before you, in between you and Bonora, who's on the other side with no way to get to you, surrounded by 12 bugbears, they check to see whether he's faking dead or really dead. And you hear the scream of a kobold.
We must not leave him there. We cannot leave him there.
well, you better start hauling these rocks, Miguel. And Bien's gonna try moving as many rocks as he can.
All right. Yeah. So Miguel will come into. I'm gonna start pulling rocks away.
You guys start pulling rocks from the pile in front of you. But as you pull rocks, more debris falls from above. And it's starting to become dangerous to continue digging this way.
All right. We're gonna have to get out, and maybe we can catch them on the way out, on the way down out of the mountain.
Well, let's keep going through this cave then.
All right, quick, back the way we came. So I start running off down this narrow passageway. Now we've been here before.
Yes, you've been through this passage before. Okay. There's mine tracks on the ground, and you're holding a torch each. As you push through the darkness, it recedes by the light of your torches flickering, and before long, you find yourself in a familiar, not a room, but a familiar hole. So you've come to the large cylindrical hole that was drilled into the ground by what you figured out to be a purple worm. And above, you can see the sky, and below, filled up until the point of overflowing into the cave down further, which you intend to travel down at this point. You see the purple water, the fetid, putrid water, bubble and trickle down into the cave below.
I don't suppose you have some vinegar and some baking soda, do you?
I will also remind you that below you is an equally deep, potentially even deeper recess where the worm has dug down into, and you cannot see to the bottom of the purple water.
Terrifying.
The walls are also spiked, because as the creature drilled through this area, it left jagged rock on all of the surfaces.
And there's sharp metal ore coming out of it. Yeah.
That's correct. There's also iron that's rusted heavily.
Oh gosh.
Ribboned throughout this cylindrical tunnel.
Yeah, okay. Now, if I look across to the cave that we came in on, can I
Yep.
see, is it fully flooded or how dangerous is it?
So, as you look across, you notice that the walls are still rippling with water as they come down on each side, and above it must surely still be raining, although the rain does not hit the water in front of you. It hits the walls and runs down. And the torrent of water is pushing steadily into the cave that you intend to travel down. So it is likely, you presume, that that cave is far deeper than it was earlier in terms of its flooding capacity.
Alright, well, looks like we have a choice. We either go up or down the terrifying slide. We can try and climb it.
Either option. Do we have any more dynamite?
You
Yes.
have
No, it's
4
not going
sticks
to
of
fall
dynamite
any
on
gas.
Miguel. What was that, Red?
That's what I said they're not going to use any more dynamite because that's what got us in this situation already.
Fair enough, but
Like-
who says it can't get us out of it since we're already in it?
Potentially true.
Like, it's not gonna, like, make it a lot worse. Just a little bit worse.
We could die.
That would be... Yeah, but we could also die if we just didn't get out. Maybe.
That's true.
We can die anyway. Okay, well, alright. Let's... Fine. How high up is this giant cylinder?
You judge that it's probably between 600 to 1,000 feet.
From here, I do not have that much rope.
Yeah. I don't think we can properly climb that, so I guess we're gonna have to
Do any of you
swim.
have experience with climbing?
I have a grappling hook.
Yeah, I have climbing gear.
Throw it 50 feet.
Red probably has the most experience with climbing in terms of rigging and that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But that's not
okay.
really mountain climbing.
No.
None of you have done any kind of mountain climbing in your history, have you?
Miguel and I have, climbed around buildings and stuff
Yeah.
frequently. We've worked in a circus, so no, we'll be familiar with climbing ropes.
All right. So, Miguel, you assess the situation as you have been, and you work out that you could technically climb that height, but you would need to collect the rope and the pittons as you go and put them in higher up, which would be painstaking work.
Yeah, possible. Alright, possible to
Unless
get
you
up
have
there.
enough pittons that you can just untie it and pull it up, which would be way easier to leave pittons in the stone,
Yeah, that would be easier.
depending on how many pittons you use.
Alright, I'm gonna look in my bag for a second. Let me see how many pittons I have. Okay, 20. That's not enough to get us 1,000 feet. Alright. Is the water, can you just confirm, is the water rushing into the other side of the cave?
The water is flowing. So there is picture a babbling brook,
Mm-hmm.
and then put that inside a very small tunnel.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, because it was tight. It was like a single file tunnel, wasn't it?
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna... Oh, man, my bag is so wet. Okay.
Yep.
Well, it's not gonna get any drier. Okay, I'm gonna position my bag to try and keep my tinderbox as warm as possible. And I'm going to, like, spend 3-4 minutes just trying to really tighten everything down, and then I'm gonna just shrug and jump into the water.
Jumping in, a bold move. So
The same entrance we came in, that way.
you're swimming across to the other side.
Yeah, I'm gonna swim across the terrifying waterhole.
You watch as Miguel dives bravely into the depths and resurfaces on the other side before gingerly climbing up into the hole, avoiding too many rips and tears on his clothes from the sharp surfaces.
How's the water?
Yeah, how is it in here?
It is cold, and it has that same taste. That taste of blood.
Yeah.
That irony,
Metallic.
metallic
taste. Yeah.
sticks in your mouth. Even when you spit it out, it's not going anywhere. And
Okay.
you are now restained purple,
Wonderful. I'll never get this out of my beard.
which had worn out a little bit, but is now refreshed.
Wonderful.
Gross.
Okay.
It's not good for my complexion.
Okay. So it's possible that I could use dynamite to blast a hole in the narrow passageway that we used to get in here. So where we almost drowned in that kind of sucking.
Sorry, rephrase, where you almost drowned.
I nearly drowned too.
Otherwise, we can just go for it. I mean, I think it's our only shot
Well,
to get down.
my only question is, how are you planning to light dynamite underwater?
No. I would. Okay, no. Here's what I would do. So,
The passage isn't underwater for the most
yeah.
part, especially where
Fair.
you can see. You can't see any parts underwater.
Mm.
So you can presume
So-
that it goes down a fair way before being completely flooded.
So I think what I could do is I could take the dynamite out of my pack that I've packed in the middle to keep it dry, along
Mhm.
with the tinderbox, and packing them next to each other probably isn't that smart. Anyway, it's probably fine.
It's not like you're
So-
actively lighting the tinderbox at all times.
Yeah, that's right. Got this small flame constantly in my backpack. Okay, so I could light it and then empty out my water skin, put it inside my water skin, and then tie it off nice and tight because the water skin's got to be waterproof. Maybe. And then I could swim down to the hole, and if it's impassable, actually, after checking it out first, I could then, if it is blocked, swim down into the
Glad
hole,
you added
leave
that.
it there, swim back, and then it will explode, opening a greater tunnel for us to easily escape through.
Give it a go.
You can try
You guys
that.
with me? You guys with me? Eh?
Red does
Sure,
not seem
just want to
convinced.
get out of here.
As you stand on the other side of this big vertical chasm, Red's face goes from interested to judgmental real quick.
Okay,
I
Red.
just think we already got into one mess with dynamite. And blowing a bigger hole, which would then bring more water in. Like, the whole point that we came here was to try and figure out why everything was turning purple. And if possible, to potentially stop the purple water from getting to all of the crops and everything. If we just blast more holes, more water is going to keep getting into the crops, and then nothing's going to get solved. So
It's true. However, this won't actually affect the flow. It will just release the pool of water because the flow won't change because I'm not blowing it up the top. I'm just blowing it halfway down. I expect to blow a hole in the rock that's kind of like 3/4 blocking this part of the cavern, and then just let the pool drain out, and also provide an easier place for us to swim through.
Oh, so you're trying to use the explosive to drain the tunnel that you want to go down?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, you're gonna blow it up where it's deep to try and
Yeah.
make a recess for the water to flow into quickly, which will provide a temporary space for it before it
Yes.
floods again.
Yes.
Okay.
is that not
that could
underwater?
work.
And is this not the only exit we have? So blowing it up may also release more rocks and block us in, trapping us. And then we're going to have to travel another 6 hours back up to the top of the mountain so that we can get out to the shrine and then be at the top of the mountain and then
We
try
can't
and
get to the shrine anymore because it's blocked off.
Is that all blocked off?
Let me go
So
and
the
swim
only
and
ways
scout
that
it
aren't
first.
blocked off right now is down in the bottom of the water, might not be blocked off under the purple water, which you'll probably drown in. Up the big tunnel above the purple water, which leads to outside. Maybe it leads to the shrine, maybe it leads to another area.
Did we not see when we were at the top of the shrine that it had been...
You did see a large circular hole at the top near the shrine
Yeah,
where
and
the
water
lake was running
flowing
in.
through that, right?
Yep.
So assuming if there's water continually flowing through this,
Could be the same place.
Maybe we could put 2 and 2 together.
Yeah.
Theoretically, yeah.
The only other place is through the flooded tunnel where where Miguel says, we should blow a giant hole in there and hope it doesn't collapse. Which is not
I'll scout it.
not
I'll
the
scout it.
worst idea I've heard.
Alright, I'm gonna scout. I'm gonna swim down and scout it out. Time
Having
to
that long rest at the top is a very good idea.
go. Yes.
Yes.
Alright, so Miguel disappears into the cave and you see his light slowly become smaller and smaller until you cannot see his light anymore. After a while, maybe about half an hour to an hour, he returns and gives the following report of the cave. Miguel says that the flooding has far exceeded where it was before, and that his idea has a potential to alleviate some of that flooding, but unless the hole's really, really big, it could be incredibly dangerous to swim through still.
So what do you think, guys? It's clearly it looks dangerous. It's to block it off. It looks like if I actually, Otter, could I have taken my backpack off and swum near the hole?
Mm-hmm. And swim deeper to try and feel your
Yeah.
way in the pitch black darkness.
Yeah, that's right. It's pitch black. Man, this place sucks.
It's a
Okay,
dangerous cave.
It is a dangerous cave.
And we blew up half of it.
Well.
So
Alright.
while he's gone, you guys assess your packs, and you realize that all of your food is now spoiled with the purple water all through
What?
it.
Even rations.
Yes.
Gross.
It's all now tainted horribly. So although edible is probably not what you want to eat.
That's fine. Ration's a ration.
We had so many rations, guys.
From that wild boar. Okay, alright. I come back.
But just letting you know that the iron-infused water has significantly tainted your food.
Okay, so I come back. Guys, have you got any other ideas? This is my only one. Dynamite in a bag. Dynamite in skin.
Look, you're the strongest swimmer out of all of us. Where you lead, we go. You're really our only option.
Alright, I'm gonna leave my bag and stuff with them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go back down with my lit torch, with nothing but my lit torch and my stick of dynamite and my water skin.
Yep.
Okay,
I'm
Alright.
noting that you are leaving everything behind.
yeah. My lit torch. I'm bringing my lit torch, my tinderbox, and my water skin.
Yep.
Okay, but I'm giving it to Bien.
Yes.
Okay, yep.
Alright.
I strap it on my front.
Alright, it's got front strap. The ultimate fanny pack. Okay, I'm gonna go down. You guys wait at the entrance to the tunnel, and we're gonna see if I die or not.
Alright.
Alright, so I'm gonna run down until I can't run no more. Then I'm going.
Can I get...
How
Yep.
far is Miguel going to blow this up? Like, you scattered it out.
So
How far
he traveled
and
in...
how far away do I need to be?
He carefully and slowly walked... Were you slowly walking in when you were scouting?
Yeah, I like dog.
Yeah, right. So he went a half hour-ish, a little under, into that cave. So a fair way. A long,
Okay.
long way.
So I'm safe here, theoretically.
Yes, you should.
I can neither confirm nor deny. That is for you to assess.
I don't feel safe.
Regardless,
These are dynamites.
Miguel takes his homemade IED and he rushes off into the cave. You've got a lit torch and dynamite in the other hand.
Yep.
Roll an athletics check to see how proficiently you both go there and escape.
Okay. Oh wow, that's a lot riding on this acrobatics.
Yes.
Athletics check.
You have inspiration. I'm just going to let you know.
And I'm gonna probably use it right here.
You don't have to use it until you know the...
I'm using it right now.
Alright, cool.
I'd like to use my inspiration, sir.
This was going to be fun. You have a -1.
Yeah.
Oh my
Ooh.
Okay, that has given you an extra 1 on that check.
Excellent. Lucky I got that.
Oh, lordy wordy. Okie dokie. So, just gonna
Looks
bring
like
up.
you're gonna have to be writing an ode to Miguel, Ian.
I'll get
Can
ready. I haven't even sung my ode to Bone Nora yet.
Rip Aroni Bone Nora. Gotta take him off the combat tracker. Alright, so. Miguel delves deep, out of sight. Miguel, down in the depths of this cave, you start splashing through water. It gets to knee-high water. Do you continue to go deeper? You want to go right out as far as you can?
Heck yeah, I do.
Gets up to waist high, gets up to chest high as you push through the water.
Alright, I'm gonna go
sloshing
and
around
find
you and echoing.
a perch for the torch to rest on.
You find a crack in the rock and you jut it into the crack in the rock. What do you do next?
Could I try and use my perception to work out where the best place to place this dynamite might be?
You can,
Okay,
but it'll be with disadvantage in this dark cave.
Yes, I have the light with me, but
Yeah, but the majority of the cave now is covered in deep, dark purple water, which obscures a lot of your vision.
okay, all right. Well, we're gonna try anyway. Hey, this is
Yep.
this is for trying.
I mean, it's not gonna hurt.
Oh, we could.
Okay.
Oh wow.
You fail to assess accurately what would be the best place, and you have to kind of guess.
Okay, sweet. This is going so well.
In
Alright.
the meantime, while he's gone, can I just pray to my newly acquainted god and just say, please don't let us die?
Yeah, goddess of water. If there's any way you can help us.
Goddess of water, please stop this purple water, and please don't let us drown. And yes, get us out of here, please. Thanks. They say amen, right?
Probably
It
not.
feels like
I've never prayed before.
Yeah, that's my desktop audio. I know what I've done wrong.
Ooh.
Aha!
It's ready. Good.
We are
Beeps
going
and-
to restart the stream. The good news,
Yeah,
however,
option.
is that the recording will have all of that audio.
That's great.
Hooray for
Not
technology.
helpful.
This awkwardness.
Man, my nose is itchy.
So,
I apologize.
so
My nose is itchy.
we will be able to catch you up fully on that if you're following my YouTube content. Right.
All right, sweet. I'm gonna light this sucker
Okay.
and give it as much time as possible. Like I distinctly want a long time.
Yep. So you snap the. Actually, roll a knowledge of some type, which will help this action.
All right. Well, I would say, yeah, I'm gonna say that I've got a knowledge of, of maybe survival. I've
Yes,
I've
good.
come into this before.
Good answer.
I've seen a bit of this kind of thing. Yeah, I know a thing or two about dynamite. Of course I do. Everybody knows at least something about dynamite.
So using your survival knowledge, you
Yep.
have in the past been in need of long ropes, and you've broken parts of ropes and tied them together in order to form a longer one. It's effectively the same with dynamite fuses, right? So you snap
Sure.
some off the top and you tie the fuses to each other in as good a fashion as you can.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's like
And-
tying two dwarves together.
And you because of your skill in this skill check, you actually have added a significant length to this fuse. Now, I also
However,
must
what you
ask
said.
you, is the fuse going to be inside the bag with the very unstable dynamite?
So it will stick. There'll be a little bundle inside the bag, but I'm going to assume that this fuse will actually burn underwater, and I'm going to test. I think it will.
A
because
test
just-
is a fantastic idea. Using your survival skills, you snip a little bit off with your teeth or whatever, you rip some, That's pretty Miguel-like. Just nah. And you light a bit of fuse, holding the rest very far away. And then you drop it in the water. And underwater, you see bubbles coming up, indicating that it's likely it's still lit down there.
Okay, alright, excellent. Yeah. This is gonna work.
Which is a good indication that it most likely will work.
Okay, so I'm gonna. Alright, that sounds good. Alright, I'm gonna. Holding it up, I'm gonna awkwardly make my way around the edge of the cave to the bit where, just above where it gets super deep.
Mm-hmm. So, the cave is a long shaft, a long mine shaft.
Yep.
And you swim to the deepest section,
Yep.
where the rest of the cave presumably is completely underwater.
Yep. Being careful to hold one end out of the water at any one time and making it as good a seal on my water skin and holding it above the water as much as possible. So
And this after you've lit the fuse, or you light the fuse?
No. I'm just coming along. This is so
Yep,
stupid.
just checking.
Yeah. And then what I'm gonna do is, once I get to the end, then I will light the fuse, lower it down while the fuse is burning in my hand, and lower it down quickly, and then swim the heck away.
All right.
And I would like to say that I am going to use like the sides of the cave to kind of like swim and push off to really get myself going, and in a very acrobatic type way, kind of twirling.
All right.
I'm gonna kind of do a tumble roll and.
I will allow you to roll an acrobatics check for this, but this is the condition. If you succeed on the DC that I've preordained, you will get a +5. If you fail, you will get a -5.
Sweet. Also, did we level up, by the way?
Yes, we.
Just asking.
Had all day to be level 2.
Because
Yes, we
I
leveled
move
up.
faster. Because I move faster now. For
You
level.
move faster now?
Yes.
Yeah, he'd have extra feet of movement.
Monks,
I have extra
man.
10 feet.
Yeah,
I-
man, monks.
Yeah.
Alright, that is very important in this scenario.
Is just for the record. I
Yep.
move faster now.
Okie dokie. Is that 35 feet or 40 feet?
40 feet.
Damn, boy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So, okay. So we're gonna
You light the fuse,
light the fuse.
and you
I-
dunk it.
Drop it down
Yep.
as close to the point that's relevant as possible,
And you hear a
and
bloop, and then you start hearing bubbles coming up.
and I definitely, oh boy, do I run.
So you
Swim.
kick off the walls,
Or kick off the walls.
and now before you make the final choice on whether you roll this acrobatics check, this could be a negative. Do you still want to make the roll?
It's either that or die here.
Okay.
So, yes.
You've
Please
got
roll
this.
well.
Oh, perfect.
Oh, come on!
Oh, this is gonna go so well. Natural 1. I'll just get another character sheet ready over here.
Meanwhile, I'm praying profusely. I have this deep gut feeling that Miguel's not
Roll a
gonna make
D100. Yeah. Okay.
it. 3.
So well.
Noted. Miguel spins in the water and kicks towards the walls, but in the dark, murky water, it's impossible to tell how far away each wall is, and instead of making contact with the wall before the leg's fully extended, you hit the leg on the end of the wall and smash your knee on the first kick, and then you swim and try and do it again on the other wall, and instead of hitting at the right time, Bien, stop it! Your leg extends, but it hits the wall at its extremity, and your heel just smacks into the wall. So this not only hurts, but it does not help in terms of the speediness of how your swimming goes.
Awesome.
You
Basically
continue to
click.
thrash and swim
It's
until
like half drown.
until you get out of the first deeper part and you get up to about waist high where you can stand up.
And then I run.
Luckily, it's not until well later that you start to hear an immense noise from down deeper in the cave. It starts with a roar,
Did forget about this.
and then you immediately realize that a large surge of water and force is coming up this channel behind you.
Coming up.
Yes.
Oh man.
Yep.
Okay. I book it. I book it.
I'm gonna need a dexterity save.
Oh, you better believe I can give you a dexterity save. Captain Average rolls again.
Your dex saves have actually been really good so far.
Yes, 19. Natural 19.
Come up in
Is
the
it?
chat.
Oh, it bounced out of the tower.
That is not a 19 this time, unfortunately. You're having some terrible luck so far.
I swear it wasn't 19, but
All
anyway,
right.
12. 12 it is.
The water and force surges over you, and you take 9 points of damage.
Jeez.
In front of you, the rest of you who are standing in the cavernous opening,
Mm-hmm.
in front of you, you hear a tremendous boom. And then you start to hear a rush of water coming towards you.
Oh, I'm
Down
not
the
far
channel.
enough away.
Uh-oh.
I know I should have stepped further back.
What do you do?
So the water's rushing towards us.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to quickly pull out a rope and throw it to Red as fast as I can.
Yep. You pull a rope from the side of your pack and you throw one into her.
Grab hold! Tie it around yourself! I'm
Okay.
gonna tie it to my bag.
Yep.
All right.
You tie the rope to each other before a large torrent of water and what you believe to be the body of Miguel thrashes forth from the
Can we
cave's
attempt to
opening.
catch him? Like clothesline him with the rope?
I mean, you can try. It's going to be incredibly hard.
Let's try.
How would you like to try? What skill are you using to do this?
Sleight of hand?
That is ambitious.
You can roll a sleight of hand, but remember, you're choosing a skill that's most fitted for the occasion, and what skill you choose will directly impact the performance
Sleight
of your
hand
action.
is like not tying. It does not apply to general rope usage.
That's it's up to.
It's dexterity of the hands.
I don't know.
Or
I don't know if
you need
that's
to do
the
a
best action.
No, you know what? It's acrobatics.
Yeah.
I've been tied to people before in the circus, so even though Red's not fully in on it, as we watch Miguel burst forward in this wave, I'm going to like jump and pull on the rope and signal to Red to jump as well. And we're going to try and jump and catch him. So I'm going to use
I'd
acrobatics.
say that's a far superior choice.
Okay. Red, have you picked up on this? Are you conscious enough of what I'm doing to assist, or is this above Red's head?
I know. I feel like I can follow along. I guess.
Alright. Cool. Then can we
Alright.
do it with advantage if she's assisting?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
cool.
that's fine. Sorry, it took a while for that to hit the back of my head.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, I'm.
That's
that was
pretty
good.
good. All right. So, Miguel,
Yes.
you are bludgeoned, beaten, and pushed through this cave system until you erupt out into a familiar spiked chasm.
Oh, cool. I know where I am now.
The two the two friends that you have left in this cave whip a rope out at you grip it, grip it to your torso, and pull hard.
Do we like whip around him like
Ow.
hell tropes? Like,
So the rope relaxes in between both of you, and Bien flicks, and it like what's the word? I was gonna say ropes, but that's a terrible description.
the rope ropes ropily right around your rope regions.
It spins and makes a loop like a lasso, and you pull it tight again, and it tightens directly around his waist, and then you pull hard.
Ah,
So we're all chained together like a couple of best friends.
He
we smush into one.
he moves sharply away from the spiked edge of the cave, and instead crashes into you guys as water washes whoosh, over you guys, and then draws back out of the cave that you're in.
Cool. So we watch the water level go down.
Yep.
All right. I guess I signal for us to swim forwards back to where Gruff came from.
Mhm.
And we start climbing up. Do we know a roar came from where Gruff came from?
It was a roar of water or force,
Oh,
not
okay.
like a rah.
Okay,
Yeah.
there's no pet word.
Sorry.
Yeah, cool.
English language, everybody.
In that case, we climb up and we're like, all right, let's get swimming then. We're already chained together. Might as well keep this rope going.
All right.
Yep, sounds good.
Keeping your rope in tow, you jump
We
into
come
the water,
into the water.
swim across, and head down into the depths of this potentially safer cave. But as you get to where the explosion should have made a large hole, you're faced with instead a wall of rock.
Ooh. Uh-oh.
This opening has been closed, and you're not sure how deep this wall of rock is.
Miguel?
Water is filling up this enclosed space.
You were meant to help make the opening bigger,
Mm-hmm.
but I can't help but see that the opening is now smaller.
Agreed. Well, chalk this one down to experience, I guess.
The water is at knee height
Okay.
and
You
rising.
know what? Actually, guys, we just have to stay. I mean, yes, there's some crazy things in water depth, maybe. We don't know yet. But we'll just let it fill up, and we'll just keep swimming and paddling water as it slowly fills up this one column of water, and then we'll just get out to the top, and then we're saved.
But the overall volume of water is not increasing, just the water in this part of it. So it's actually draining the big tunnel.
It will
No, it's not
eventually
draining
fill up,
the big
right?
tunnel. The water is overflowing from the big tunnel into the tunnel you're currently
Yeah.
in.
Exactly. So if the water is coming from the big tunnel,
Yes, you'll have to fill
then
up this tunnel before that would be a possibility as well, yes.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is we go back out to the big
You
one.
also went a fair way in to where you are now, so down that other tunnel, it's a lot to fill up in terms of cubic feet.
Fair enough. I
You're
said
left
this was a bad idea.
With but
I said
one option that you've thought of so far, unless you can come
Yeah,
up with
yeah.
something miraculous, and that is to
Gonna
climb.
have to climb.
Yeah, we're gonna have
Oh,
to
the
try.
gods.
Well, we tried. All right, let's go out. I'm gonna take a health potion once we get back to the big one as well.
Yeah. Mhm.
Let's head back to the main chamber and get ready to climb.
You go.
Is anyone feeling particularly nervous about this?
About the height?
Yeah.
Well, yes. I think
I've
the
applied your
climb
health
is
for you.
incredibly dangerous.
If you fall, make sure that you go into a soldier position, hold your nose, keep everything straight, and then you just pin drop in, and then you're not going to break any bones.
Are we
Yes,
going to
I'm pretty-
climb tied together?
What?
Are we undoing this rope?
No, we're gonna
Um,
need it anyway.
The way I see what's happening so far is these two are taking their lead from you, Miguel. You've become the
I don't know. I don't trust Miguel
After that?
to lead.
well, you've got
I
to
didn't
tell. You've got
trust
to
him
give me
before.
ideas then.
Yeah.
You've got to give me ideas. That's fine. I don't.
So
I
is
don't-
Red gonna try and speak up and take the lead for now?
Sure.
All
I
right.
guess.
So, with your knowledge of rigging,
And all of my ship knots.
yep.
I researched a lot last week,
you
thinking that they would come in handy.
you untie everyone, and then you start tying the knots together between each of you again. You try and describe the knots that they need to tie if they're going to be at the front hammering in pittons, because they're, Miguel's a big strong boy, so surely he'll be good at that. But it's quickly evident that you're far superior at knot tying. So you say that you'll take the lead, and all they need to do is have someone in the center carrying the pittons for you, someone at the bottom untying rope if you're going to use the one stretch of rope, or sliding up to the next segment of rope. And you're going to do the knot tying. All they have to do is untie it.
Yeah.
So,
and there's definitely a knot that's easy to untie ships. You just tie it, it's very strong, but then if you pull it in a certain way...
If you pull it in a certain way, it comes straight out, Yep. Alrighty, so, with advantage, Red, can you roll an athletics check?
Oh no. Oh no.
Alright.
I
It
wasted
takes-
all my good rolls earlier.
It takes a long time. A long time. And the work is hard and slow. So after a while, Miguel, you start to become incredibly tired. But luckily you don't have too much to do, so you hang in the tied positions in between steps, but it takes a lot longer than you'd expect to get to the top of this cave system. Well, not cave system, but tunnel. However, at the end of this 6 hours, you have reached the top.
Oof.
Oh,
It is late evening.
I feel like it's a scene where we've all finally reached the top, and like, you know, in those movies how they're all like on the very edge, and then they all just climb up finally and just flop down. And we're all just there watching the sunset.
Yep, so as you flop down onto the snow, you look around and you are back up at the shrine which has been shattered. The big lake, the ominous door in the stone, and above you...
back here!
Above you, you see a deep net of clouds. Knowing
Was
that you've
it-
lit a fire here recently, you go back
Yep.
to the remnants of it, and there are still enough bits of wood that you stripped from the shrine to make or from the cave itself as well, to make a
Okay.
new fire, and you set up and you take a long rest. Let's see
Woohoo!
if
Because
you
we-
rest without
Different
interruption.
music.
Because last time we long rested, I think we long rested just on the inside of the doors.
Yes, just
that
inside the
led to-
doors.
Yeah. So we're not going to be as cold.
Hours later, before dawn, you wake. It's still snowing outside, but you have rested, dried a bit. Well, a significant amount on your person, but you're still not completely dry, and your gear is still drenched.
I
Are
feel
you
like
going to take everything that you
not
have? Yep.
laid it out in an attempt to... I mean,
Yes,
at least that's what I
But
would've
there's
done.
only one fire, and there's a lot of gear.
Yeah.
So you've dried everything a bit, but there's still a lot of water, especially logged in certain clothing items or ropes and stuff like that.
okay,
If you're going to ditch anything before you
I
climb down the
say
mountain, let me know now.
I mean, we've still got food. And we might as well wait another day. If we've got food and we can wait for things to dry, then
So what are you eating?
we've got loads of
Food is
rations.
spoiled. It's
All of
always
your
spoiled.
food is currently tainted with the purple water. Are you going to drink
we're just-
the...
Doesn't matter. We're just gonna have to.
Yeah, I'm just gonna eat some jerky that's been dipped in irony water.
Yep.
Yeah,
Alrighty.
yep, and we'll just heat everything as much as we can, cook everything over our.
We
Whatever
can
fire
also
we've
drink the
got.
water from. I'm going to refill my water skin with the lake water.
Yep. That's a great idea.
Yeah, my water skin is blown the heck up, but I'm gonna drink from the lake.
Where is my water skin?
Alright, so you eat and you rest, which gives you the benefit of a long rest.
Alright,
What day
I
does
think
this
now's
put
our
us
best chance to step down.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go. I am very, very sick of this mountain.
Me too. Let's get into some warm beds.
Alright, so are you going to climb down in the same manner that you climbed up the tunnel?
No, we're going to look for an area that has a clear path down.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to try and like scale downwards.
Alright, so who's
Try.
scouting?
I'd like to scout, like to do a nature check to see natural land formations where I think the best way down would be.
Roll it. You check around for the easiest way down the mountain, and you quickly realize that these mountain peaks are incredibly steep. So, although you can navigate to the best of your ability to find some slopes where you'll be able to walk, the majority of the climb down is going to be rope climbing.
The
An assisted climb.
snowboard a bull?
Some sections potentially, but stopping at the right section would be incredibly difficult, especially if visibility gets lower than it currently is.
Right, I think we're going to need to tie ourselves together. And I don't know if there's anything else in our packs
Are
that
there
we can
trees?
use.
There are no trees.
Mm.
Not this high
Is-
up.
Tell me about the roof of the gazebo.
The roof of the gazebo?
Yeah, that's a good point.
It is, picture ice cream cone, kind of cone
Yep,
shape,
good.
and then flatten
Yep.
it down to
Yeah, good.
a disc kind of shape.
Yeah, okay.
It's made with wooden planks and shingles.
Okay. Miguel,
Yeah,
see that gazebo roof?
yes, I do.
You remember the time we broke into the Duchess's gala and
Oh,
had to escape on a gravy slip and slide with her finest silverware platters?
I do remember that, yeah.
Yes, very fun memory of us.
Mm.
What would you say if we sawed off the roof, flipped it over, and attempted a similar stunt?
Look, we've got hammers. We can use the ends of them to like peel it back. I think that's our best bet.
All right. Bien rolls up his sleeves.
using our hammers that we have from our climbing pack, we're going to use them to lever these.
All right. Red, what's your reaction to this plan?
It's pretty steep, the mountain, isn't it?
Very
And it's
steep. Some would
Pretty
say
rocky, right?
incredibly steep at sections. Large segments of this mountain is effectively just sheer cliffs going up,
Mm-hmm.
with nice slopes before them, which you could slide down, but the potential to slide a little too far is a little real.
Yes.
Really wish I took Featherfall now.
I've got it.
That was an option.
I've
No.
got Featherfall.
You don't, though,
Monk,
Miguel.
baby.
It's not going to help you that much.
Monk, baby.
If we ride on his shoulders, technically Featherfall should protect us.
No, he doesn't have feather fall. He has
Okay,
slow
yeah.
fall, which means he can only decrease the amount of damage he takes by 5 times his monk level. So he'd only decrease by 10 points. We're on the top of a really steep mountain. We're going to take
Need I remind you?
damage.
Need I remind you? Every 5 feet you fall past the first is an extra d6.
I can jump.
Regardless,
really, to be honest, I can jump 5.
You will
10
probably
feet will be
hit
fine.
terminal velocity on these cliffs.
Yeah.
If Pierre
Alright,
and Miguel,
well,
So
hey,
you're saying
let's
the
do it.
toboggan gazebo roof idea is not
It's
feasible?
doable. I'm saying you can
If-
do it. I'm just letting you know the dangers of it.
Hey, look, if we just choose the right place to snowboard, like to toboggan, not even snowboard, if we choose the right place to toboggan, it can help us.
Mm-hmm. And even if you didn't ride it, if you just put your packs on it, it would be
No,
a safer way to travel because you could cut it free.
If Bien and Miguel are so insistent on tobogganing down this steep mountain, I'm going to request that as treasurer, I take control of the money now.
No, that's not how it works. You haven't filed the appropriate paperwork for that request.
I am the paperwork. You said I was treasurer.
I just don't know what to do. Like, I think we live here now, unless we attempt this toboggan.
All right.
Is there anything else we observe or look around and see?
Yeah, can I perceive any other easy way, or not easy way, but is there any other materials up here that we can kind of gather
actually,
together?
Bien, with your nature check,
Mm-hmm.
there do seem to be large creatures that live around this area.
Guys, get this.
Oh,
We didn't
jeez.
notice this last time. There
You
are
haven't
some
seen
kind of
them, you've
large
just seen
creatures.
evidence of them.
I've seen a footprint and a poop. I don't know what they are, but there's clearly evidence of large creatures.
All right, let's befriend the
You
emus.
also think that they are probably carnivorous.
Probably gonna eat us.
Alright, let's avoid them. Okay, down the mountain on a snowboard we go.
Alright, so a couple of questions. Are you using snowboards for personal transport?
No, okay, so what we're going to do...
Hang on. My idea, I don't know if
Oh, no,
Ruff's
yeah,
in
go.
case.
No,
My idea
go.
is to take the whole roof of the gazebo,
Mm-hmm.
flip it upside down as one giant round toboggan.
Oh.
We all ride in that. There should be enough wooden shingles to survive many of the bumps.
That's good. That's a... Okay, alright.
I think that's safer than single shingles. I do not like the look that Otter is making, but the stream could be delayed, so I don't know.
There is not much delay. Look, I'll wave. Hello.
Oof. I don't know, chat. Do you have any
You're
ideas
telling me, Motley.
to get up this mountain?
Okay.
Stumped.
Alright, so no. Alright, so Bien, brother.
Yeah.
Brother.
Yes,
Hear
brother.
out my idea.
Miguel?
Hear out my idea. Everybody, I mean,
I
you
love
have
that, like,
you have a voice. You can use it. Okay, so here's what I think. Each of us carry our packs tied to us,
Yeah.
and tied to the snowboards behind us, and each of us carry another snowboard in front of us, so that we can toboggan down like the slopes that would be okay to toboggan down, but where the snow is too thick, because otherwise we just sink into the snow. So this will help us spread our weight and kind of glide down slowly down these areas. Now, what we can do is, if we're gonna go over some precipice so we can't see, we can dig our arms in, we can dig our hands in, because we'll lay flat down on these each, dig our arms in, dig our hands in, and slowly descend. And if we need to, we can always just kind of like bail out and dig into the soft snow. And if the snow is not soft, then there'll be other things to grab. That's what I think.
Do you think instead of
Did
all
any
of
of
us
you
riding...
guys purchase picks? Ice picks or climbing picks?
No.
No, we did
Cool.
not
We
go
purchased
to
everything we could.
mountain.
I've got a grappling hook, and that's it.
Yeah, grappling hook's going to be
Okay.
really useful. Okay, so
I'd
this is
still like to go back to Eldath again.
Red.
Help us.
awesome red, wonderful red. Do you
Yes.
have a better idea? This is my
A better
literally.
deer. I have
A
this
better
one.
deer.
He is 4 years old and he has served me many times on mountains, climbing with my gear upon him. He is a sturdy companion.
Who's this? I buy their deer immediately. Who's this
I
NPC that
immediately
appears?
beat them up and take the deer. Do you have a better idea? Because otherwise,
After this point, I am gonna push the story along.
yeah. Because otherwise, I'm
okay.
gonna die on this mountain. I'm gonna.
No, okay. So I like it. How much snow is there? First of all,
There is
Because I like-
significant amounts of snow.
yes,
It is
I
more-
Like
Well,
it.
we're gonna sink into that.
More
I like
snow
the idea-
than you would see on most skiing mountains.
Yes, I like the idea of
In
using
Australia or in
snow-
America?
Yeah, of course. I'm talking our region. Sorry.
Okay.
We're from
That's most
Australia.
places with
In
snow.
Australia, there is limited snow.
Most of it's made by a machine.
I like the toboggan idea. Just don't go make it a slip and slide. Let's just take it.
Okay, I've legitimately got an idea. Following Red's plan, can I use our hammer and equipment to, as we were examining this gazebo, pull off the nails? And I'd like to then take off my shoes, have cold feet for a moment, and push the nails through my shoe upside down. So obviously the pointy bit's out, not in, just to be very super clear. And use the nails to makeshift rugby
footy boots.
Yeah.
Footy boots. We're gonna make we're gonna hobnail our own boots.
Roll a survival
thank you,
check.
Nutley.
Great. That was awesome. Wonderful idea.
You are
Anybody
able
can
to
walk.
put the nails in, but then as you try to apply force to your foot on the snow,
No.
the nails sort of recede in and your foot just gets pushed up. You haven't done a good job. It's not going to be effective, so you whip the nails out and you patch the shoe to the best of your ability, which does return most of its functionality. It's not like it's going to just fill you up with water every step. So it's not awful, but you have ruined your shoes.
My plan. I'm going to take inspiration from Bien's snow footy boot idea and turn it into a snowshoe idea. So we're going to make snowshoes to stop us from sinking down into the snow. And okay, so we're going to wind.
Roll survival. I think I know what you're kind of describing. You have fashioned yourself some snowshoes of questionable integrity.
Well, fair enough.
Yeah. They will work to a degree, which is all you really intended to do. So you've got yourself emergency snowshoes. So you're making those toboggans and you're making your way down slowly and carefully.
Yes.
Making my way downtown.
Alrighty.
Carefully.
Can I get an athletics check from each of you?
Oh boy.
Yeesh. Oof. Alright. I mean, yes. Good. Very, very well.
Red.
Well rolled.
And then it was 2.
Oh man, our characters are so
Mother Duck
bad.
said, quack, 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 quack. And only 2 of the heroes came back.
You start your trek down the mountain.
None of us are equipped.
Using the nature roll from Bien, you pick a clever path down where you will reach less cliffs and more slopes.
This way, lads.
Traveling together is safe, but also slower. Red is having particular trouble dragging her gear behind her.
I've got sea legs, not land legs.
This is very true. But you are all traversing together and making good ground. You come up to a section where you have to effectively sidle across to get to the next big slope, sidle across this cliff. So there's a small precipice that goes along to where you need to go to next. And you're going to have to hang and hold your sled of goods underneath you whilst you sidle across. I will allow you guys to
I wanted
argue...
to never take off my backpack. I don't trust taking my backpack anymore.
So yours isn't on a sled?
No.
Okay. You guys get to select what skill you're going to use to traverse this section. And then you can make a skill check based on that.
So
The better you argue it, the better your success chance will be using that skill. And then my interpretation of that skill on top of that will determine how well you do here. What skill do you choose?
Part of moving stealthily is just the ability to be really careful with placing your feet and the balance of your feet. So you know when you walk through, if you've ever tried to walk silently, like through a forest, and you have to balance where you put the weight on your feet, and you kind of roll the weight on. So I think I would have, I'd be very good at moving very carefully with my feet. So I'm gonna.
I'll accept that. Roll it.
Yeah.
That's a good argument for using stealth.
Alright, I'm just gonna stick with good old acrobatics.
That's a good check.
Yes, try and keep my balance stay upright at all times.
But yeah, I guess I'll try and be cautious with where I'm stepping.
Alright, so you're using stealth or acrobatics? What's your choice?
Yeah, I mean, they're the same modifier, so it doesn't...
Yeah, so just for context, we're going to be doing a series of these challenges on the way down the hill. Once you've used a skill, you will not be able to use it again for the rest of this encounter. Each of you makes your way across. Miguel carefully places his footing. Red sees the way that Miguel is traversing across and does the same in kind. And Bien uses his agility on the edge of this cliff to sidle across safely. Sneak
Yeah,
past an
I'll
owl
use my
bear. That's true merciless DMing there. And now you verse a pack of owl bears.
A bunch of bugbears at us, so like.
Alright.
Okay. We make
So,
it across.
you've made it across successfully. You travel again down the slopes, and the sun gets all the way across the sky as you make your way down. You have traveled a great distance, and there is only one way that you can go, and that is continuing down this mountain. But
I go down.
but it is nighttime. Do you want to try and wait, or are you going to push through in the darkness?
No, we set off in the morning. Has it been all day?
Oh yes, yes, it has been all day. And not only
Oh my
that,
God,
I need you all to
Holy-
roll Constitution checks.
Oh,
it's cold.
cold, grueling.
Ah, dang it. Stay in the box. Oh, come on.
By the end of the first day's travel, Bien complains that he is experiencing dizziness.
Wonderful. That's not gonna.
Guys, I'm a little bit dizzy.
I'm not talking a little bit, I'm talking significant dizziness.
I'm very...
You are having bouts of severe dizziness.
Oh, I'm feeling a little lightheaded. Guys?
I take him by the arm, and I'm just gonna hold him.
How are you going to proceed?
Gotcha, mate.
Are you going to try and camp here in the snow on the sheer cliffs?
We have literally no way to do that because we can't.
Is that like an alcove?
Yeah.
You
rock
could try and
sticking out
search for
with
one.
it Breaking the wind?
All right. Yeah, I search for an.
I said breaking wind.
You have
Nice.
assessed the area around you, and there is no safe purchase for you to be shielded from the wind significantly.
All right, we press on. So I think we have to push on. There's no safe place where we can rest here. We don't even have materials to make a fire anymore. I don't know about you guys. I'm all out of torches. I couldn't even light one.
Mhm.
I've got
And
torches.
I'm pretty sure my tinderbox was blown apart by the literal tidal wave that I unleashed on myself. Oh no, not literal tidal wave. That's probably a bad use of the word. Anyway, explosion of water.
I mean, it was a pretty big wave of water.
All right.
I think
Yeah.
that's the title of it.
So we press on.
Night
through
falls
the
as you
dark.
continue. Bien struggles with his dizziness, but continues
as I-
alongside.
As I grow weaker, I hold Mr. Boy for support and comfort.
Mm.
The next segment is a sheer cliff climb down.
All right, I jump it.
So far that you cannot see the bottom, as clouds pass under you and above you.
Are we still freezing?
You are still freezing.
Great.
It's not giving you frostbite or anything at this point, but it may in the future, especially
Oh,
during the
man,
night if it gets
okay.
cold enough.
It's gonna so quickly if we stop.
As we're
Um,
kind of observing this, I'm gonna stumble forwards a little bit, falling into Miguel, and I'll be like,
Hold him tight.
"Brother, I'm growing faint. I don't know how much more of this expedition I can take.
Okay, all right.
It sure
what I'm
has
gonna
been
do-
quite the adventure, hasn't it?
It has. Don't worry.
I had hoped that in our final adventure, we would be surrounded by maidens, fighting off some villainous warlock seeking to destroy the world. But if I am to be encased in ice as my final tomb, then I only wish that you carry out my legacy."
Are you using that as a
I'm
bardic
sorry.
inspiration?
Yeah, why not?
Good. Just thought I'd remind you that you do have bardic inspiration while you're doing
that?
this
If you roll the good.
extremely dangerous climb. Could be useful.
Okay. Otter, here's what I'm gonna do.
Yep.
I'm gonna take, because we dried all our equipment. We spent a long time drying
Yes.
it. So I'm gonna take my bedroll out.
All right.
And I am going to use some darts because I have nothing else. I'm going to use some darts to kind of cut it.
Yep.
I have a dagger.
In half. Okay, sweet. And I'm going to put it over. I'm going to put it over. I'm going to kind of back over Bien,
As like a snowsuit. An impromptu snowsuit
over like half of him, so he's gonna I'm gonna kind of make it so that the
tailor it so it doesn't get in the way of his
tailor it so that it doesn't get in the way, but I'm gonna kind of tighten it in, and I'm gonna tie it off with a piece of rope as like a belt.
Thank you, brother.
It's all right. You got to keep warm, and then I'm going to wrap his hands in the other parts. I'm going to make some hand wraps for gloves. Out of the ends of it.
Considering your specialty in fighting, especially fist fighting, that is second nature to you. And the first task you described is achievable without any skill rolls.
Okay.
You're already bandaging my buddy. That's very smart.
And I'm going to because and then I have a hooded lantern which I kept with the others while I went off to blow up our only escape route.
Yep.
And I'm going to light it since it's kept. Actually, wait, no. Red, do you have any way to light this?
Yes.
I feebly take out my little silver lighter with a shaky hand.
Mr. Boy holds the lighter up with you.
As I fumble with the thing, eventually I see a light, and as that light bursts, I see one final vision of banquets that I never got the chance to eat. It's like, you know, the fable of the little match girl, and she like lights a match and see these rich people dreams. It's like the lit lighter to Miguel.
Also, for those who don't know already, Mr. Boy is a small beetle, actually a large beetle, that lives on Bien's arm and acts as a buckler, which is a little shield, which is adorable and effective.
Sorry, a buckler.
So I'm gonna light this lantern, and I'm gonna warm your hands on the small lit flame, and then once your hands have been warmed up, I'm gonna tie that lantern to you. And on your hip to the side.
Are you putting him in the center of the rope chain as well?
Yeah.
All right. So that will avoid you guys getting disadvantage on your climb down. Congratulations.
Okay. I was going to ask if I could throw a couple ball berries down to just see if I could gauge how far down the next flat part.
To make it even more slippery.
You flick a couple of ball bearings down. 1, 2, 3. You don't hear them land.
Cool.
This is going to be incredibly long climbing, you assume.
I would like to see if I could perceive a way down. Could I please perceive a way down?
Yep, you can try and use your perception to improve this climbing section. This, actually, let's make this the second skill check. So, you can use an ability that you haven't used so far in skill checks on this mountain climb, apart from athletics, which I've been calling you to use, so... Miguel is using perception.
Yep, to make my way down.
Am I able to use Sam Walker's suggestion of anime jumping down the mountain with acrobatics?
Yes.
What if I put my arms behind me like Naruto? Does that work, or am I too enfeebled by the cold?
You are able to use that suggestion.
Sus. Otter sus.
Can I use my nature or animal handling to see if I can find a spider, a radioactive spider, so I can get bitten and just climb down the sheer face of this mountain?
Yes, you can attempt that.
No.
Mate, you trying to become Spider-Man?
Yes.
Is that a thing we can do in D?
Alright, so Bien, what skill will you use?
Can I use animal handling as I clutch to Miguel?
No.
I am.
I mean, you can use that, but I would not suggest it.
Alright, I'm going to use nature again to very carefully observe, to fight the temptation to close my eyes in the cold, to
Mhm.
keep them open and alert and observing the natural formations.
All right, that's good. I'll also argue for you that nature will help you gauge where will be windiest and where will not.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah. I mean, both are good.
Sandwalker-
Both are good. They're both good things.
Sandwalker says it could be spectacular if we anime jump. It could result in a faceplant.
it's very likely.
You roll the dice in D&D.
Going for a maximum velocity face plant.
Well, hey, if you got a
Alright.
face plant to your death, it
Yeah,
might
I
as well be
suppose.
maximum velocity.
Red, what skill are you going to use?
What would be a skill that would mean that I can find like footholds and like the nice, like, you know, when you're like,
You
if
could
go
argue-
bouldering or rock climbing and you like plan out your path.
I've been thinking the same thing that would be useful for this, so I'm going to help you out with this one because I just like the idea. You could argue sleight of hand would be a good way to just fiddle around and find those handholds and slide your hands into the right places.
All right, I'll do that.
Mhm.
I'm happy with that.
Are you guys going to eat any food whilst you're climbing? It's been a while since you've eaten.
Oh, well, I would
'Cause
not have
this
attempted
is-
to eat before we started climbing.
Yeah, you
dinner.
can.
Brother,
sorry, you
chew
can.
my food for me and feed it into my mouth.
Gross. You can try and eat more of your spoiled rations if you want, or you can go without.
This will be my first spoiled rations consumption. I did not eat last time.
Alright. What'd you eat the other time? Nothing.
Nothing.
Okay. you need to eat in order to get the benefits of a long rest. Also, just let me note.
Fair enough.
I'm gonna drink. I'll have Miguel help me drink a bottle of ale that I have in my inventory to
Wow.
try and keep me warm. You know, like
Alright.
bloodhound style.
Cool. Are you going to eat some of the rations that you have as well?
Yes.
And Miguel, are you eating as you
Yeah,
prepare
sure,
to take
why
this?
not?
Yep. Okay. So you begin to climb down. Red is leading the climb as per previous arrangements and helps you all significantly in finding handholds, which is incredibly helpful in terms of not falling from this very dangerous cliff. Miguel uses his superior awareness and sight to spot out paths that'll be easy to find significant handholds, but also strong enough to hold the weight of each of you. And Bien struggles to stay focused on what he's doing, but attempts to follow the patterns of clouds when he's dizzy and look distant into the shapes of the landscape to try and compose himself.
The clouds are parting. The afterlife is coming for me.
Come on, Ben.
You
And I like slap him gently in the face.
Oh, together.
You climb tirelessly as your fingers begin to frost, but you reach the bottom of this large segment of cliff, and the clouds are now above you, and you can begin to see trees, strong
Yeah.
trees, further down. You have yourself at the bottom of this large sheer cliff. You have been traveling down that cliff for about 8 hours, and the sun is rising. Can I get each of you to roll a Constitution saving throw? Bien, your dizziness has continued, and on top of that, you start feeling very weak.
My knees start shaking. My legs feel like they're about to buckle. I kind of stumble forward and tug on Miguel.
Can I get you to roll a medicine check? As you're checking what's wrong with you, you realize that your pulse is weak.
I know I'm usually a bit more spirited, but I feel my heartbeat dimming. I think the final chorus of my song is dropping out in one last crescendo. In real life, I know nothing about music, so I'm not sure if that was the right
Miguel
choice.
comes to your side, but as he does, he stumbles, becoming dizzy. The
Yeah.
dizziness that has succumbed to you, Bien, or that you have succumbed to, has also taken place in Miguel. So you're
Yeah,
both now suffering from dizziness, and Bien is also finding that his pulse is weak, which is a terrible sign. The sun rises, and the warm rays of the sun do give you a little bit of encouragement that you might still make it down this mountain.
Okay. I'm gonna eat some more food and stick my hands in the lantern to try and warm them up
Mhm.
as they're burning. And there's no way, we can't really do another check for a place to rest, can we?
You could try. You are in a different section.
Okay.
There's
Well,
some big trees
Red,
there.
can I help you? Can I help you to see if there's another place where we can rest
Mhm.
on our descent?
Red searches for a place where you could potentially rest. Down within the sparse trees, you do find what seems to be a cave underneath the roots of one of these large redwood trees. The cave is, from what you can tell, relatively deep, and the entrance to the cave is 10 feet across, so it's a big opening.
Oh, this sounds like a bear cave.
We got no other choice.
All right. I'm going to get the other two seated down, and I'm going to take the lantern and just see if I can edge stealthily into the cave.
Yep.
To the cage. It is a cage now.
Roll a stealth check.
Trapped in here with me. Good.
Okay.
Ugh.
Holding your lantern, you raise it up as you enter into this cave.
And trip over. Just
You
catch myself
sneakily step into the cave, and as you look deeper, you see this cave's actually quite large, larger than you'd imagined before you went in, and it goes down into the mountain. But you see something,
Mm-hmm. What is it?
and it moves,
Oh, okay.
and
I
it's
collapse to my knees.
and it's large.
I back out of the cave.
The creature turns as you step to twist to turn, and a
Mhm.
stone flicks from under your foot back down the cave. Clack, 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 clack. And you hear, ooh, ooh,
Oh, holy
You're
moly.
kidding.
ooh.
Alright, I sprint out of the cave.
Who in the chat suggested this? I'm gonna ban them.
Oh man, okay, I
Roll.
sprint.
So, are you going to try? So it hasn't fully perceived you. It's now alert to you. Are you going to try and bolt, or are you going to try and sneak out of there and
We
make
need
it think
some
that it was
more
just a
music.
natural sound?
Okay, I guess that one.
It's your choice.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and be slow.
Yep. So you'll now do a contested roll against the creature.
Oh boy.
Okay. The hooting turns to growl-like anger.
Sweet, I freaking
And you
leg
start-
with my monk-like speed. I
You start
bolt out of
sprinting towards the exit.
and
You
as I
burst
run-
out.
I yell, no. As I turn around, I run, Albert, Albert, and I
Albert?
get up and run, you fools!
You start to hear scraping and flapping of fur and feathers down inside this cave as the creature makes its way steadily and quickly up and out, but it hasn't reached the entrance yet.
No, we freaking bail.
You all run?
Unless you guys want to die, I mean, I run past you.
You are on a sloped woodland, and you do have sleds.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking. So, yeah.
So you guys preparing to get on your sleds?
No, not preparing. I'm on my sled. I've just grabbed my sled and I've just like run and jumped out.
Miguel dashes out of the entrance of the cave screaming, "Owlbear! Owlbear!" and dives onto his sled as you see it lurch forward.
Whoa!
From the entrance of the cave, you hear a hooting growl.
Am I hindered at all trying to get my sled out by my dizziness?
You have your backpack on you, and you made a sled just for personal use, yeah?
Yeah.
So it's easier for you to get onto your sled than it is the others, so no, you are not.
Okay.
And Red, I presume you're taking the same action?
Mm-hmm.
I would like each of you to roll a vehicle handling check.
I don't have proficiency in land vehicles.
Then that'll be a straight roll.
Just a straight
Just a straight 20.
20.
Can I argue that this is a very, actually, acrobatics applies a lot to this, because...
I would say it's a dex space roll.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
so that's acrobatics.
Which is actually really good for each of you, which is
It's
very
our
convenient.
party is unique.
Can I roll performance at disadvantage? Trying to, show off my acrobat
No!
skill? Okay.
Is it just
You
a
try
dex
and-
roll? Is that what you want from us?
Six.
Day is breaking through the trees as you see the sun rays sparkle through the canopies, and you dash between shadow and light, your lantern still lit, Miguel, as behind you a large owlbear bursts out of the cave and starts running at an incredible pace. Some would say around about 80 feet per 6 seconds.
Holy
Cheapers.
Luckily, you were going at a significantly heightened pace to what you would normally be
160
moving for
per
most of you. Based on your handle vehicle check. This will now be our third skill-based encounter check, in which you can use any skill you like that you haven't used on one of the skill-based encounters so far.
Acrobatic.
Actually, yeah.
You have to argue it, though. You have to argue how you're doing it.
I just do it.
I just do it. All right, cool. You can use that as your argument. It will not necessarily help you very much.
I'm going to use acrobatics, and I'm going to kind of use my trained core strength,
Mhm.
and kind of positional awareness to maneuver myself along this general sense of balance that I've built up over years of practicing tumbles and
That's pretty solid.
yeah.
I'll allow that for sure. Bien.
Can I get some clarity on what my dizziness is actually affecting?
Your dizziness is affecting your hand-eye coordination, predominantly, but also your vision a little bit.
Okay. Mechanically, is that giving me disadvantage on anything?
So mechanically, anything that's based on fine motor skills, you're probably going to have disadvantage on.
Okay. What
That's
about
same for
big
you as
motor
well,
skills?
Miguel.
Am I able to still leap and jump and stuff, or?
Due to your lowered pulse, that's probably also disadvantage.
Okay.
So it's rough stuff out there. Red, what have you decided on?
So what I'm going to view this as is basically we're tobogganing, or I'm going to effectively argue that well, at least I am bobsledding. And in a bobsled, you have to be quite tight and quite small. And so I'm going to say that this is acrobatics, because acrobatics is a contortion thing. Get
That's
small,
a good argument.
get going, so I can be fast.
Yep. I'll very much accept that. That's an incredibly good description. So, Bien, what did you end up choosing?
Nice.
I would like to cast
Roll.
Disguise Self to make myself appear like my clothes as much as possible appear like the texture of snow, and my skin and body type to appear like a ice genasi, or something that kind of has that cool tones to blend in a drow if I have to.
Mhm.
And I want to try and roll a stealth check to disguise myself as a toboggan, so I look kind of like just like a little snow. I don't know what they call it, a little snowdrift rolling down the hill.
It's
Yep.
like in Divinity when you use the stealth and you just turn into a rock or a bush, but you're still moving around.
Yeah.
All right.
Divinity original sin.
So, Red, Bien, and Miguel all receive inspiration for their creative
Hey.
uses of their skills, and their apt description of them as well. Because I think those were all very creative uses of your skills. Now I'll have you all roll. The boys with disadvantage.
I'm going to use my inspiration to counteract my.
I did not actually see that coming. That's very good.
Well, you guys can't even see me. I'm
Yeah, so-
here.
I got a 25, Ben, so...
Yep. You got a 25 on your acrobatics check
Yes,
for
I am the
contortion.
You just do one flip down the whole mountain.
All right, so
She hits a jump and just goes all the way. It's like in that ski-free DOS game. She's able to get past the monster because she realizes you can press F to go past it, and she keeps going.
the one where you go down the top to the bottom of the screen.
Yeah,
The
the
2D
monster
one?
always kills
Yeah.
you, but you can actually hit a key on the keyboard to go past it. But no one did that for 20 years.
That game is the stuff of nightmares, and I will never
100%.
ever recover from playing it at a cousin's house one time.
Yep. We all have
For
similar childhood
years,
experience.
for years, I had nightmares about that game.
Oh gosh.
So
Sorry to bring it up. Please don't kill my character.
The little Yeti monster just be like, it's terrifying. No one wants that. Speaking of which, a Yeti monster comes out of the. No, I'm kidding.
Ah!
Oh,
All right.
Inspiration.
The scene is as follows. Red tucks into a tight, narrow, aerodynamic cylinder of speed and speeds straight down the mountain in between the trees with great dexterity and speed. Miguel, he's already off to the races, so he goes down first just before Red, but Red quickly overtakes. Miguel is struggling to keep his toboggan going in the right directions and is angling towards the trees, a large clump of them. Miguel, what do you do to avoid hitting these trees? I would say that at this point, you've done everything you can using your athletics kind of abilities. You could ditch a pack to give you more mobility if you wanted to ditch your gear, or you could do something similar. Something different other than your keen athletics that you've been using.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. So I'm gonna use. I'm gonna. I'm going to persuade the snow to get out of my way. No, I'm going to. I'm gonna use my sense of self-preservation and survival to kind of like aim as like feeling out of control. I'm gonna aim for a gap in the
tree
in the
ahead.
trees. Yeah,
Alright, so what skill are you using?
survival to like
Survival.
like my general sense of willingness to survive.
Okay.
My deep-seated wanting to live.
I will advise that that's not as convincing as the other ones so far, but you can use it.
Fair enough. I'll take it.
Alright, roll for it.
Just flipping wonderful.
Miguel collides with the clump of trees. His pack and toboggan are either destroyed or scattered, a mix of the two for the pack especially, and you see his legs fly up in the air as he spins into the snow.
Holy moly.
Bien kicks off casting his spell and turns into...
How accurately like a snow club do I look like? I just want to know the limits
Pretty-
of disguise self.
You look pretty convincing in terms of like a ghillie suit kind of
I turn
form.
into a marshmallow man.
So you're significantly harder to spot out in the snow.
Yeah.
Someone would have disadvantage trying to spot you in the snow. So Bien, you're behind Miguel as you see him collide and smash into these trees.
Oh gosh.
His gear goes everywhere and he's a little further down in the snow, just rolling at the moment. What do you do?
I'm going to... Oh gosh. I'm gonna jump off my snowboard and roll to a stop in the snow.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't make a check for that.
No, I'll allow that.
All right. I make a cool landing, and then I get up as best as I can. And
Your sled continues on without you.
Yep. I whip out my accordion.
Yep.
And I'm going to, as strong as I can with my feeble voice, play a tune on my accordion. And as I play this tune, around me snakes these like magical green leaves with some gold tint. And as I play, they snake off me and dash across the field towards Miguel. And as he is kind of stumbling in the snow, they wind up him and like perch on his ears. I forgot what they're called.
Sounds
I knew the name before I started talking and I forgot. They look like the victory wreath things that like Greek
like a
heroes-
laurel wreath.
A laurel, that's the word.
Yep.
And I cast heroism on Miguel. And you're feeling super brave, I guess, as a roleplay component.
Oh yeah. You are feeling hella brave as you see this owlbear pushing through torrents of snow above you as you flick up on all fours in the snow and spit out a large swath of it. Alright, so the two Fib Master boys have come to a halt. Red, how do you react to this?
They stopped.
You heard a
Completely.
crash, and you saw, as you looked back, Bien roll and slide to a halt while playing his accordion.
With a 25 on my check, do I have the ability to stop?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, how far away?
You can stop, it might just be hard.
Yeah, rad. Great. I rolled so well just to have to stop and find now then. Jeez.
Is my snow toboggan still with me?
It is shattered and it is with you.
Alright.
So there are parts of Snow Toboggan everywhere.
Okay. Alright, no, that's fine. That's fine.
Yep.
I have a spare one.
You have a spare one.
Yeah, I do. Because my pack is on one. So I'm going to quickly cut my pack off. I'm just going to throw it off, take the thing, leave my pack here, and just flip and hook.
All right.
Oh, okay.
You jump onto your toboggan and start sliding. Would you like to roll another athletics check? I'll allow another one for how well you do this time.
Sure. Can't be worse than last time.
Miguel speeds off down the hill.
He bravely ran away.
As Red begins to think about stopping, she sees Miguel pick up pace fast behind her.
Yep. I guess I don't stop.
Bien,
Yes.
you have ditched your snow sled.
Mm-hmm.
It has gone on without you.
Mm-hmm.
You have stopped and aided your brother.
Mm-hmm.
Inspired by heroism, he has continued down the hill.
Yep.
You are facing an owlbear.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, hang on. I didn't realize you stopped. I thought you did that as you... Okay.
Nope. Yep.
The owlbear is 80 feet away from you.
I'd argue the Abend hasn't necessarily noticed me yet.
You haven't taken any attacks against him, but you have
No.
made noise.
Okay. I am going to pull out my firm yoga mat bedroll, jump on it, and continue sliding down on my bedroll.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna level with you. This is gonna be a very difficult roll.
Okay.
The bedroll is not designed for this kind of activity, though.
What's
doesn't
that or a saucepan? So what would you advise that I use?
it's steep enough that it could work here, but it's a hard roll. What are you gonna use to your advantage in terms of skill checks to make this work?
All right. I'm going to use a nature check first to quickly grab some suitable like leaves that I think, if the roll is good, I think will buffer the bedroll and enhance it.
So some branches which have lots of leaves on them.
Yeah, like kind of pine needles or something. I think that'll go down the mountain well.
You grab
and
2 branches slick with pine needles and put them on the bottom of the bedroll before flipping it over.
And do my nature check.
Yep. And
Oh, come on.
dive onto the bedroll. The bedroll slides for 30 feet before stop.
Can I do it again?
Everybody roll initiative.
Oh, here we go.
I was hoping to avoid this eventuality.
Same.
All right.
I think at 11 o'clock at night is a fair time to point out. Before we started playing, Otter told me, and I plan to accelerate you out of the mountain and back to the town in the first half hour.
I had a really good idea. That's fair. That's a fair statement.
To quote him, he said, unless Miguel
Everybody
gets
gets inspiration. Because I have not got you back to town like I said I would so far.
I didn't
The
get a
mechanic
chance
of
to
getting
use my
inspiration.
inspiration that you just gave me like a minute ago.
I told you I handed out like hot soup coming through. So you gotta use it
I
up quick.
literally haven't made any rolls.
Please don't scoop hot soup into my hands from your hands.
I literally haven't had a chance to roll since you handed me inspiration.
I don't have anything else I can do to that
That's
reality.
me the first session, right? So how
Turn-based
far
play
away
has officially begun.
How far away is this owlbear?
This owlbear is currently 100 and 10 feet away.
That's actually quite a while.
Not
Yeah,
for an
he's like,
owlbear, it's not.
He's oh no, no, they're not yards. I was gonna say feet. How many feet to a yard? I don't know.
How far away? So are they still traveling down the mountain even though combat
At high
started?
speed. Red is very far away.
All right. I know what I'm gonna do.
Just as a bit of awareness, kind of for the situation. Red is 300 feet further down the mountain than you are. Miguel is 120 feet further down the mountain than you are. They are traveling at very high speed.
I'm going to stand firm with my accordion, and I'm going to ready an action.
Okay.
If the owlbear comes within 30 feet of me, I'm going to ready Tasha's Hideous Laughter.
Ooh. A favorite. A D&D favorite.
As a bard on level 2, yes.
Okay, you prepare your action. Do you take any movement?
Yeah, I move 30 feet towards my friend.
You move 30 feet further down the hill, and then stop, turn, after trudging through the snow, and ready your accordion.
I'm gonna crouch down as close to like a snowbank as possible, whatever I'll naturally blend into.
Okay, sounds good. Owlbear's turn. Everyone loves owlbear.
I do not. Distinctly do not. Owlbear. You've taken a deep-seated dislike.
Oh boy.
I have an owlbear figurine, but it's packed away in a box at the moment. Now I'm sad.
The owlbear is going to run further down the hill, but then stops after 40 feet. So, quick mathing, that is 70 feet away from you. The owlbear has stopped. It sees that its prey is trailing down the mountain, and you can watch as its big, oval, owl-like eyes spot the two tobogganing further, and it gives an angry whoa. It's a growly hoot. It's unlike any animal you've heard up until this point. Monstrous this thing looks, with its purple feathered fur, as it takes in a large sniff, trying to locate anyone who might still be around. As it sniffs in once...
Can I this is a genuine question. How good are birds at sniffing? Because I feel like an owlbear would
Birds
have
are not
considerably
very good
less
at
sense of smell than a regular bear.
But I
because
tell
of
you,
their beak.
but I tell you what's good at sniffing. A bear.
Well, but that's what I'm saying. I would say
Let
a
me
regular
tell you
bear
something about
is better at
owlbears, young
sniffing than an
man.
owlbear.
Owlbears are not just bear, but owl. They've taken the best elements of both bear and owl and created the most fearsome and dangerous of all Dungeons and Dragon creatures. Do you know, up until this point in a campaign, I have not introduced an owlbear for fear of what it might do to my party members. Speaking of which, the owlbear starts walking towards you. And then it starts dashing towards you, reaching another 40 feet closer, breaching your 30 feet held action marker. Would you like
cool.
to cast your held action?
Yes, so as it approaches, I slam my accordion together.
You burst out of the snow, droplets sparkle.
Yes!
As you
Very cool slow
flick
motion
up.
out of the snow. So I slam
Yes.
the accordion closed. And as this owlbear is bolting, all these like snow drifts and snow-covered boulders and like trees, to the owlbear's perception, they like morph into other like owlbear forms and start laughing and screeching at the owlbear in owlbear language. And the owlbear is like incredibly embarrassed. No, wait, this is the funny one. No, he finds this really funny. They turn into owlbear clowns. Sorry, I'm mixing up my spells.
That's alright.
And he has to do a wisdom saving throw as he laughs. I don't know, what would an owlbear find funny? Like a fish mouse? Just these helpless fish mice he sees everywhere.
So the owlbear looks around into the snow, and confused because he hasn't been able to smell them, he sees these fish mice, and they splash out of the snow. And as they splash out, they go, eep, 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 eep.
Let's make the funniest sound. You have to do that. The fish
Really
mice
funny
turn
now.
themselves into a pickle, and it's the funniest shit this owlbear's ever seen in his life.
I'm Pickle Fish Mouse! The owlbear stops and begins to make a strange noise.
That is horrific.
As
That
it
is a horrific noise.
as it tumbles to the ground in the snow and begins to flick its legs wildly. It looks at you with wide, crazed eyes while it laughs in an odd owlbear kind of way. It's terrifying, but also a little funny, but not funny, because it's an owlbear. Red. You were traveling at high speed down a mountain, 300 feet from any kind of action
Right at the end
whatsoever.
of combat.
Would you like to continue traveling at high speed to get off this perilous mountain, or would you like to stop?
I will attempt to stop.
As you glance back, you see that Bien seems to have things covered for the moment.
But Bien has all the money.
Yes, he does. Come back to him, Mr.
As you
Moneybag.
look back at
You know-
Bien as he plays his accordion and sparkles in the the misty snowflakes, you see his coin pouch at his waist, and you think to yourself, but Bien has all the money.
I was actually going to, while he was like still not feeling well, try to sleight of hand the money pouch off him, but I didn't. Steph is a good
mage
person.
hand slap you.
Steph is a good person. Red is not. I should have just done it. Anyway, I'm going to, I guess, attempt to stop. I can always just jump back on again afterwards if I need to.
You pivot and slide to a stop, forcing a lot of snow out of your way, but stopping concisely.
But it looks really cool because I rolled a 25.
Yep. All right. The snow sprays up and sparkles as your hair flicks around, and you stop and pose like hanging on the toboggan, and then step off dramatically.
Yeah. I look super cool.
What do you do?
Um,
You are 300 feet away.
I didn't take a long distance weapon. I will just hold and observe. And
You stop dramatically, and it looks really cool. It's now Miguel's turn.
Okay, I'm also going to stop dramatically
Red,
once I realize.
You get inspiration for your dramatic
Stop doing
stuff.
I have inspiration already.
I'm sorry, but you earned it. So
Can I have inspiration to the effect of 3? The next
No.
time I use inspiration.
absolutely not. All right,
I have not made a single roll since you gave me my last inspiration.
Miguel, you are up. Might I also note that you are hiding behind your Miguel picture?
Oh, sorry. I can't. Look
I know you
up
can't
at
see
all.
that, so I thought I'd just let you know.
Okay,
120
alright.
feet down the hill, you continue tobogganing.
I'm
but
only
you
gonna break to
see
a
that
stop
you're-
once I realize BN is not with me.
You see that he no
Um,
longer has his toboggan as it's going directly parallel to you, empty.
Toboggan is long gone.
Oh man. Okay. Dang it. I should have grabbed him and taken him with me. Okay, so I'm gonna skid to a halt just like I saw Red do down. I'm gonna
Yep.
try and copy her technique.
You slide to a
With
halt,
me, though.
and the toboggan that was Bien's next to you keeps sliding, and Red flicks it up with her foot and catches it.
Catch it. Yeah.
And stops it.
Cool.
I'm gonna sprint back up to BN now. So I'm gonna use my dash
Mhm.
and my monk speed.
You
Okay.
move 80 feet.
Sweet. All right, I'm 10 feet away from
Miguel.
BN.
Sorry, Bien.
And then I yell to BN, I'm like, come on, we can ride this together. I'm sorry, I thought you were coming with me. Quick, jump on.
Miguel, you are dizzy.
Yes.
Roll
Oh.
a Constitution saving throw to see if you can carry this heavy toboggan uphill through deep snow without falling.
Of course I can. What'd you say? What use a
Constitution saving throw.
Easy peasy. Lemon squeezy.
Boom!
I knew it.
As you fight off a bout of dizziness, you get up to Bien. Bien,
Hey, brother.
you see your brother rock up. You have used your movement and your action, so it is now Bien's turn.
Okay. It probably is safer for me to go with Miguel
Miguel.
rather than if they didn't come back. Sorry, I'm eating chocolate.
I know that's
If
totally
he didn't
fine.
come back, if he didn't come back, I was gonna mount the owlbear, but
Wow.
considering he's here,
I'm glad he came back. Owlbears are no joke.
all right. I get on the snowboard and you push off with my quarterstaff and keep going.
I let
So-
him take it, I guess.
Miguel, you use your bonus action to assist him in this. Bien,
Hold
what
on.
are you using as a skill check to toboggan with?
I'm going to use acrobatics because I feel like this is a new scenario from what we were doing earlier, and plus we've stopped to fight. So,
I will allow that.
yes.
That is a
Oh,
fair
yeah.
reason. All right. As the owlbear hoots hauntingly above you, you jump onto the sled with your brother, and together you sled down to where Red is, Red, seeing that you're catching up quickly, begins to ride her toboggan while holding the other one. Slides it out to Bien,
I do a
who...
cool thing, and then like you know how like when you do a quick slip underneath, and so like I'll fling it over, and then like it'll just hit underneath the other one, and so that we just transfer one of the boys to the other one, and then we'll just go together. It'll be cool.
And then with my
Nice.
22, I'm gonna flip onto it. So that's high enough to do a
No,
flip.
I bumped it underneath, and then you just slide onto it. It's like when you pull
So,
the fabric
Red-
out from under a table.
Red slides across to both the boys, flicks the sled across, which bumps underneath both of you, and Bien rolls off over Miguel onto the other side, and you all
Olé!
slide down.
Whoopa.
After about an hour's slide, because you guys make good time and it's pretty clear from this point onwards with dotted trees that you can avoid, you reach the end of the snow at the end of the day. I assume that you guys are going to try and set up a camp to long rest now that the snow's no longer a prevalent factor.
Bien's gonna first collapse into the snow.
Look at
While
that.
Yeah, I
he's
will.
collapsed in the snow, can I try and swipe the money pouch?
You take the pouch.
No, hang on. I react.
Okay.
Slap her with mage hand.
An ethereal hand materializes. and
Your
just-
passive perception is only 11, isn't it?
I'm
Yeah.
on active perception.
No, I
You
did
are
this while
not
slumped
on
in the
active
snow.
perception.
You slumped in the
Alright, I
snow.
sleight of hand it out of Red when she takes it.
No, you don't
know
notice that
how
it's
it
taken.
happened.
She has the money pouch.
I don't
Of
notice her
500
coming up
gold.
to me.
Well, she comes
Uh,
up to you
You
and
specifically said that you slumped in the snow for 5 minutes.
That is petty.
it's alright, you can just steal it back later.
I hate suggestion checks in D&D.
Hey,
They are broken.
Alright.
Alright, does Miguel see her do this?
No, Miguel goes to sleep.
Purple.
the treasurer takes her just due and sits down happily while hiding the money pouch. Now, you have lost the entirety of Bien's belongings apart from what was currently
No,
equipped.
why?
No, Miguel.
No, Miguel, sorry.
Miguel, yeah. That's
Miguel's the
better,
one who
thank
crashed. Apart from what was currently equipped on Miguel, which is the following items, Miguel.
Quarterstaff, sling, and some bullets.
Joy upon joy.
And some darts.
That's a lot of things gone. Also,
And
that
a
water
lantern.
skin's definitely gone.
It's definitely gone.
So you have a very limited supply of items.
Oh yeah, I have practically nothing. But it's okay, because I'm a monk.
You
I'll
got a
be
gold coin.
Yeehaw.
You're not entirely sure of what day it is unless you've been keeping track as a character, not as a player.
I would be aware of how many times I'd gone to sleep.
You left at 4 p.m. on on the 12th from Bluegrass, so it's
What a
taken you
strange time of day to leave.
6 days, and you're at the end of the 6th day, and
I
setting
guess
up
the
a
only
camp.
thing we can do is like sleep here. We have to sleep. Even if we don't eat, we have to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
But can we not just go back to our house?
No, because it's like 3 days away from where we are now.
Oh.
It could be, or it could be more or less. You're not entirely sure where you've come down.
Yeah. So I think we have
It's
to
not
rest.
familiar terrain where you are.
Alright, then we have to rest.
It looks similar, but it's not necessarily familiar.
Please.
I checked to see if my money bag fell off me.
Oh, you do not.
You seem
do.
to have lost your money bag during the travel down.
Miguel! Red!
Mm,
I'm afraid the money bag has fallen off me.
Oh no, are you serious?
We lost
How much-
Boronora's money.
How much?
I can't believe such cruel forces of nature, such heartless natural causes have swiped this money from us. There is vastly winds and fiendish gravity pulls have tugged this money, this tribute for all of us, a final gift from Bernora, away from our lives.
Oh, well, perhaps it was for our benefit that that evil money that was ill-gotten has been lost on the mountainside. What a
Oh,
disaster.
this is
Truly
just luck. I might as well kill myself. Life is meaningful. Figured all that effort for nothing.
Red
Bien,
just
I go up
rolls
to
her
Bien.
eyes
Bien
so
is
hard.
struggling very hard with his low pulse and his dizziness.
I say, Bien, let's sleep on it. Maybe we'll think about where we dropped it tomorrow after.
Maybe the money will turn up when we awaken. Perhaps Mother Nature's guilt will get the best of her.
Alright, that's a little meta, but I'll allow it.
Poetic, I'm a bard.
Can I get a survival check from the leader of tomorrow's expedition back towards Bluegrass? Also, are you guys eating for the long rest?
I don't have any food, so unless somebody gives me food.
You take some of your
one of my
rations and shit?
rations.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, I take one of these rations.
I've got
And then,
And Red, you as well?
one left.
Cool.
Yeah.
Alright.
Does anybody feel comfortable in these hills?
Do
I
the
feel
boys
a
feel
bit more
okay?
than average comfortable in this hill. I feel okay.
I've had the worst time. Like, Bien didn't want to go on this quest. Bien didn't want to go up this mountain. Bien didn't wanted to leave when Miguel wanted to stay. So Bien's done.
Can I get everyone to roll a Constitution check?
He lost his most prized possession, Bernora.
You guys
Consider roll
managed to
better
get a
one.
decent night's sleep.
Yay.
And you wake up in the morning, and who leads the expedition?
I feel okay in the wilderness. Does anyone feel alright? Any better?
I'm better on the seas.
Yeah. How do I feel week-wise?
You
After a long rest?
still feel significantly weakened and dizzy, and so do you, Miguel.
Okay.
Wait, no, we had a long rest.
Yes.
Yeah, we apparently still feel that way after long
You don't
rest.
feel weakened, Miguel, but you feel dizzy. You have dizzy spells.
Oh, I've got dizzy spells. I'm gonna add that to my spell sheet.
Cast on self.
How much food do we have?
One ration left for me.
Right,
I've
well,
got
then
4
we're-
rations left.
Oh
I've
boy.
got a
Busy.
bag of purple grass and a saucepan and one really old half-frozen squid and a bat. Oh, I've got 3 bat corpses if you want to go Ozzy Osbourne.
They are beginning to become
Oh yeah,
incredibly rancid as well, by the way. Maybe even the reason that you're rolling Constitution saves. You never know.
Oh, wait. actually,
I don't know. It could be.
I mean, you should know.
You did take evil fetid bats from the depths of hell, well, the caves, and carry only their heads with you
do I know this as a player?
without treating them. As a player, you know that you've taken these.
Sorry, as a character, do I know this?
You know what you've done, yeah. You know you have them.
No, do I know they're calling me ill?
I didn't say they were.
No.
I said they could be.
But do I have any reason to suspect them?
That's
Have
up
they-
to you. That
have
is
they
up to you.
foul smelling in the last few
Yeah,
days?
they've definitely grown fouler smelling.
Alright.
Get rid of them. They stink.
If
Alright,
Bone
I'm
Nora
going
was still
to-
here to harass you for your weirdness, he would be going off at you.
Only. I'm going to get rid of them, but before I do, I'm going to with a letter opener in my forgery kit. I'm going to cut off the wings and keep the leathery bat wings, which clearly have rotted the least compared to the organic body.
Alright, cool.
And I throw the bodies away, far, far away.
Marvelous.
Can I say that Red is helping me?
Nice.
Damn, boy, who needs advantage when you roll 2 19s?
Oh, that's where all my luck's been.
Okay, so after a full day's travel, you find out which direction you've been traveling. You realize that you've been off course, but moving in the general right direction. And you now know that it's going to take you about 2 more days to get back into town from where you are. You found one of your old campsites on the way up the hills.
Yep. We just go back the way we've been.
Mhm.
going.
I take a moment to reminisce about the time I hung Bonor in a tree in his cute little sleeping bag.
Okay.
Yeah, I put my hand sadly on the tree and just reminisce about our friend who we accidentally sold into slavery, kind of semi-unwittingly.
Who Bien sold into slavery.
Yeah, not we, by the way.
I was forced to sell him into slavery. There's a difference.
That that sounds like.
Okay, so you camp for the day and you get ready to travel for the next day. Red, as you wake up, everything's spinning and you're feeling dizzy now too.
Oh boy.
You guys are down to how many rations?
0 now.
I have 4 rations left, so I can give one to Miguel,
Mm-hmm.
and that will put me at 2.
Okay.
I split it with Bien.
Mm-hmm.
I've got 1 ration left, so I'm okay.
Okay, alright.
Bien, you wake and you are hot and cold all over, and you have a headache. Your pulse is weak, and you are dizzy. Miguel, you wake up and you feel dizzy today. On top of that, your heart begins to race at certain points, far more than it should be.
Okay, I don't eat my ration for today. I say to Bien, do you feel worse today than yesterday?
Yeah.
That's going to be a absolute delight to edit in post.
Sorry, everyone is deaf. I think these rations are making us sick. I don't know. We're resting. We're getting good sleeps. Well, kind of good sleeps.
I look at Miguel in a moment of clarity through my fever, and I say, "Bacon has never let me down before."
This bacon is tainted bacon.
Tainted bacon.
Tainted.
All right, I spit out the last of my ration that I was eating.
What about you,
Oh,
Red?
yeah.
Do you conform to this hypothesis, or you just...
Yes.
Yep. So, midway through the meal for the morning, you all put it down. And you leave it. And you leave all the rations there, or just what you were eating?
Oh, that was the last of my ration, so...
I have 3 rations left. So yeah, I guess we just leave it.
You travel on, and after a day's travel, you meet familiar landmarks, familiar hills and trees, and you rest for one more night. You don't eat for this time, but by the end of the next day after, you are at the outskirts of Bluegrass Meadows, and you can see the familiar purple grass drenching this area in a deep and, to you guys, quite upsetting color at this point. People are working in the fields, and a familiar face greets you as he walks up. The old man who was the only one who was talking to you about the mountains themselves and said not to speak to anyone about the mountains.
Okay. I come up to him and say, "Sir, we have quite a tale to tell you, and we desperately need good food and rest. Could you help us?"
As Miguel is begging for comfort, I'm actually gonna march forward and grab him by the scruff of his collar.
He says, "Ah, bien," and then juts back as you grab him and goes, "Oh, whatever's the matter?"
Don't bien me. We stumbled into something in those mountains.
Mountains.
He
Do you
did
care-
warn us.
Hush
Do you
now,
care
hush
to
now.
explain what is going on with your human trafficking to bugbears?
He looks confused at you. Would you like to roll insight?
Damn it. Such a bad roll. I use my inspiration. I use my inspiration.
Okay.
Damn it!
Oh, that's so bad.
I give up, guys. I retire. Yeah.
He looks at you startled and says, "I don't know what you're talking about. What bugbears? Are we in danger?"
I say yes, and I throw him off me.
He looks to Miguel and Red and says, "Well, you've clearly been through an ordeal. Come to the inn and I'll buy you all a meal."
That
You
would-
look tired and hungry.
I
That would
storm
be
off
what we
towards
need.
the tavern before him.
he
I kind of like limp in.
he as Bien runs off hastily, he looks to both of the two party members with him still and says, "Did you find the source? Did you stop it?"
We have found the source. It is beyond our power to stop, but we can tell you how
Very well.
after we eat.
Pay us 1 million gold coins to stop the water.
He takes you into the tavern and calls to the innkeep and says, "A round and a meal for each of them. And quickly, please. They look very
None of
tired."
the purple crap.
You sit down at one of the tables and he sits with you and asks you, "What happened up there? Have you solved
put
this
it-
issue? What's the solution?"
I'd like to put a gold coin on the table, my gold coin on the table, and I said, "Feed us the best food you have, give us the best room you have, and whatever this will get us, and then after we will tell you what happened."
He pushes the coin back towards you and says, "I insist. You have done a great deed for us and returned. I shall pay for your stay and for your meals."
Great. I'm going to tell you all about our trip
The least you could
after
do.
I sleep.
Before going to bed, I'm going to sit at the tavern silently at the bar for a while, nursing an ale. Just thinking about everything we've been through. I'm going to take a few moments to get down there for breakfast.
Yeah.
So maybe Red and Miguel are in conversation with him already. And I'm going to stumble forward. And it's like my personality has changed quite a bit. I'm going to be very bright and alert and cheery. Be like, "Morning, guys. How'd you sleep? I slept the best I have in a long time. Wow, what an adventure we just have been on." And I'm going to stumble down and finger gun the barkeep as I swipe the bowl of bluegrass porridge and begin eating.
All right, so before he arrives, Red and Miguel, you've met with this old gentleman from town who you've talked with before, and he asks you, what was the source of it? What's the solution if you've not solved?
I look at Red and I tiredly look at Red and just let her go.
I will note that you are aware that you've sealed the passage where the water was coming from
Oh, okay.
Wow.
with the explosion.
Wow.
But
We don't
does
know where
that
that
stop it
down tunnel went.
seeping into
That's
the
a good
ground,
question.
into the groundwater?
You're not entirely sure.
We don't really know.
Ask if they've noticed any changes.
It's been like 3 days.
Yeah, I feel like that would be enough to change the lake at least.
Don't know enough about farming then. Yeah, so I just tell him about the lake up top, the giant tunnel, the big pool, and how we think it was rusting and seeping in. Well, what I think was rusting and seeping in. The explosions
Whilst you're saying about the explosion, he sends a farmhand to go and check the lake.
Yeah, we talk about the explosions that were in the tunnel that kind of blocked everything off. Don't know how that's going to affect, but there was still a giant pool of gross purple water for a while. Potentially the issue is coming where like the lake is leaking in, so the blue water from the lake is leaking in and mixing. Potentially could be fixed by building a dam to stop the lake from filtering through, but the rest of the water, we don't know how deep the tunnel goes, where the rest of the water was pulling it.
He listens intently, and by the end of your description, Bien comes down, and he's a little more jovial and a little more friendly, and you have
Excuse me, you forgot my breakfast beer. 1 beer, please.
a beer is put on the table gladly by the keep, who says, "It's good to have you around again. We were hoping you'd come back." And before long, the hand who went out to the farmhand who went out to check on the lake returns with a cup of water from the lake, and the old man gets the barkeep to bring over a bottle of the water that was sullied when you were there, and he looks at them both and compares them, shines light through them, and says, "I don't know. What do you think? Do you think there's a difference between these?" And he hands them to you guys.
Can we? I roll perception.
Yeah.
I'm
Does it look like it might still take a long time for there to be any difference?
I roll
Yeah,
perception and say yes, marginally different.
I
Actually,
like that.
I'm going to assist you. I'm going to
Okay.
assist you.
I'll roll it again.
Well, okay. I guess I'm not rolling then.
Dang it.
No, you can roll
My
two.
rolls are so bad tonight.
Oh, geez.
We have not got anything over
Wait.
like a 10.
I have inspiration.
Except
Yep,
for
you can use the inspiration if you want.
Sure, I guess so. What am I rolling perception?
So, Bien picks up the two things, compares them very, very intently, and then says, "Yes, there's definitely a difference," and hands them over to Red, who takes a look, and you do notice a slight difference. There's far less particles in the newer water, and it seems to be easier to see through when you put light behind it.
Yeah. Cool. Well, I guess it seems to have been doing something, but, it might take a long time for this to actually properly filter out, but...
The man responds, "I agree. I'd say you've earned the rewards that are promised you." And he reaches into his top pocket, and you see him give a little pat in his pocket. Just a little tap, tap, a little pat, and then out jumps a little harmonica with eyes and a big harmonica mouth. and
grab
arms.
I assume he's handing it to us and I grab it quickly.
The old man smiles at you and says, "I've been looking for someone worthy of this, my most prized possession."
I kneel before him and I say, "Sir, I will not let you down.
The little
You have bestowed the
harmonica,
highest honor on me."
the little harmonica goes, and he describes to you how this harmonica helped him back in his day when he was an adventurer, when he had his hands busy and he needed to play some music.
I'm truly blessed, sir. Thank you so much. You are the kindest, most benevolent sir in the whole realm.
All right. So he hands you this magical harmonica worth a significant amount, you would imagine, based on the items you've seen around about the place in your travels.
What is its name?
Name? Well, I called him Harmony for a while, but it didn't feel right. I never gave him a name
I'll think
after.
of a cooler name.
I'm sure you will. I'm sure you will. And he pats you on the shoulder.
I single tear that swells the prayer.
I'm sure Ernest will have a reward for you as well. One now and one
Yeah.
after our harvest. He's still in town though. Back at Takot.
Alright, well, I say we rest up here and make our way slowly back to the city.
Your what's it called? Your cart driver
Hang on.
walks over. Yep.
I want to do something in the tavern before we leave, but you can continue the
Yeah.
scene.
Your
I just
cart
don't want to leave immediately.
Your cart driver walks over and says, I missed you yesterday, but whenever you're ready, I am keen to get back to Takot. This town is terribly boring. I'm sure you'll agree. It's been a very boring week.
I'm gonna attune to this harmonica. Is there anything specific I need to know, like mechanically? Or...
This harmonica
Yes.
allows you to cast spells using your instrument without having to actually have it in your hands. So when you're otherwise occupied, restrained, or unable to make noise with your instruments, this harmonica can facilitate your bardic spells.
This is amazing.
And it does it
And-
for you, which is
So
great.
It's a harmonica with little arms and legs and a little face.
A terrifying harmonica face.
So cute.
And he's
Is it
got
like
eyes
the
on the
harmonica part its
end.
mouth? So I like have to kiss
Yes,
it when I use
the,
it.
the harmonica part is its mouth,
Okay.
but not the part you blow into.
If I do use my hands, can I play the accordion and my harmonica friend can sing along at the same time?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I get up on stage of the bar with my accordion and the harmonica.
The
After-
harmonica gives you advantage on your performance roll.
Oh, yes. All right. Okay, I'll sing first and then do my roll. No, I'm gonna do my roll first. All right. Advantage. Performance. Come on, these rolls. Oh no, that's a 17. Oh no, that's from before. No, my rolls suck tonight.
A 14's not bad.
That's alright, but that's just boosted by my +6. Alright, so I'm gonna get up on stage. And I'm gonna look at Miguel and Red and look around the room, which I assume at a farming tavern at like, what is this, like 11 in the morning? There's not many people. I'm gonna say, I've been working hard on this. We went through a lot up in the mountain. We lost a dear acquaintance of ours, and I'd like to perform what I'm calling the Ballad of Bonora. All of you. Yeah, are you comfortable?
Very.
Alrighty. Can we have a halt in typing while we hear this magnificent sounding ballad, I'm sure?
Tiamat takes peppered pies. Okay. Oh, we truly did adore you. Our bravest knight, Bernora. Though at times we did abhor you. As a kobold, you did great. You were loyal to a bag of coin, cooked a squid just like a pork chop loin. Pal, I really wish you didn't date such a cruel and grisly fate. In the afterlife, I hope you're richer, but for now I'd like to paint a picture of all those that are poorer than our dear, dear friend Bernora. A dung beetle pushing dung, a lungfish without lungs. Did I forget to mention glutton kings that weigh a ton? A dwarf without a beard, a urine water weird, any fool my brother has ever gone and speared. A lion virgin maiden, a simp dragon that enslaves them, that fool that lost Mr. Boy in raw Aldeth fight mayhem, a pirate captain who's all pegs, one who steps on Tarrasque eggs. My ex-barbarian bandit leader girlfriend, Gypsy Bohemia Thunderboots, who wants me back so badly she begs and begs and begs. And although all these beasts are lowly, they slowly remind us you could do poorer, a lesser creature boya, an uglier beast care for ya than our special friend Bernora.
Marvelous. Marvelous. You receive inspiration.
Yes.
The members in the tavern, of which there are a few, all are very impressed with your your ballad, accompanied by a harmonica and your accordion as well.
The harmonica dances as it plays itself, yeah. There's little
And
jigs on the
in
legs.
fact,
Definitely.
so too does Mr. Boy. He flaps up with his little bug wings and does a little dance around your head as you go.
Guys, I don't need you at my party anymore. I've got my own.
All right, catch you soon.
See ya, bye. Thank you.
I never was one for the drinking and dance, but I lived by the dice and the cards in my hands. But the goddess of fortune seemed loath of the sea. There were none of the crew who was poorer than me. I was walking the deck on a cold, starry night when the shape of a spectre appeared in my sight. He said, I am Jones and I've seen your demise. I've been moved by your suffering, I will help you rise. I'm the fool you see and he's waiting for me down below in the bottomless chasm. I'm his sailor to be, and he's waiting for me down below, down below, down below. He said, I'll make you richest of all of your crew. In return, I require a promise from you. When your sand has run out, when your time here is through, you'll sign up for me without further ado. I complied and I signed with my blood on the line, with no thought of my life, only gold on my mind. But I was deceived, I wish I had known that I would be richest, but also alone. I'm his fool, you see, and he's waiting for me down below in the bottomless chasm. I'm his sailor to be, and he's waiting for me down below, down below, down below. From the hold where the first mate was found lying bleeding and cold, and a sailor came running with a nail in his eye. So we all ran to help him, but I knew he would die. Soon enough we were caught in a fight for our lives, in a torrent of hail from a blue cloudless sky. When the freak wave swept half of the crew overboard, the captain went mad and he fell on his sword. I'm his fool, you see, and he's laughing at me down below in the bottomless chasm. I'm his sailor to be, and he's waiting for me down below, down below, down below. Now I'm drifting alone on an ocean so vast, the ship's wealthiest sailor, but also the last. There's a wind out of nowhere that's filling my sails. There's a sprinkling of frost building up on the rails. I'm his fool, you see, and he's laughing at me down below in the bottomless chasm. I'm his sailor to be, and he's waiting for me down below, down below, down below. I'm his fool, you see, and he's laughing at me down below in the bottomless chasm. I'm his sailor